Question 6. What have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product? The following are the various things that we use, the technologies we used throughout our filming process.
We used iTunes to transfer the music that we got from the artists that we used, and also sounds, effects, and so on.
We used iMovie. That was the main program that we used when creating our film. We used it for editing and importing footage, doing various effects such as the black and white section for our camera scene at the end.
We learned that this software was kind of tricky to use at times because the camera never really responded to the actual system itself, so found it difficult at times where we tried to overcome these problems as we went along.
Also, when we decided to switch cameras, we had issues that we had to change it because it was HD and we were using an old iMovie, so we had some problems with that, but we managed to overcome them in the end.
We used a DSLR camera to record our progress, and every time we went out to film we just took pictures and just updated what we were doing. Also to experiment, there were a few times when we went down the alleyway, and then one time we took pictures of Anthony walking down the alleyway, and then later we edited them to create a stop motion scene and just experimented with different effects really.
We used a website called Issue to upload images and PowerPoints to our blog. We wanted to use this because it made our blog look generally like a lot neater rather than having all the pictures and research scroll down the page. We had a few problems with it at first, but because we couldn't work out how to use the link, like embed the link to our blog, but then we realised we were on a HTML, so we had to click the blog section, and we overcame this really quickly, so it was all fine.
We also used Blogger, which is our main blogging site. We primarily used it to say what we did day to day in our thing, and it was more like a review of what we learnt and what we did in that day, and to really say who did what and who did this, and yeah.
Just a general sort of recording of all our hard work.
We use YouTube quite a lot to upload our footage, such as all the experiments we did and our final project.
And our preliminary task as well. Have you fed the fish?
We've also done things like the extra montage and the stop motion experiment, and we also looked at the opening of Kidulthood and American Beauty on YouTube.
Another program we used was MySpace, which me and Alex decided to make a MySpace page to use so we could put our music on it, and we felt because we didn't have a way of putting music on unless it was on a YouTube page, and we thought if we just had a MySpace link straight to a music program, it would look a lot better, and we put all our tracks on that we're using for our soundtrack that we made.
Another software that we used from the Macs was GarageBand to record Anthony's voiceover, but we ended up we didn't end up using the voiceover because the quality that we used from GarageBand was very poor, so we decided to switch back to the HD camera because we felt it was much better quality.
Of course, the HD Sony camera was the camera that we used for filming our project. The first camera we used wasn't a HD camera, but we used it. It was a standard Canon, but we changed to the HD camera because we felt that the quality of our film would be a lot better. However, because of the old software on computers, it turns out that it's not up to date enough with the camera we were using. So our project has got a fault, which is just really annoying. It's like these lines that come up, and it looks really pixelated whenever there's any sudden movement.
That was also down to the transferring it to archive, which also made it have that effect.
The old iMovie and then transferring it to a QuickTime file, just constantly narrowing it down. Like the software just wasn't working. But hopefully it doesn't have too much of an effect on our film. We used the other camera first, but we decided to reshoot all the footage that we did on that camera on the HD again to make sure that the footage, especially in the darker areas, would be a lot clearer.
Such as the alley scene.
Yeah.
Question 7. Looking back at your preliminary task, Feed the Fish, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product? I think over the course of this project, like as a group, we feel that it's been a massive learning experience because we've all gained the knowledge of different edits and how shots work and just different things that we can do to make it look good. And in our Feed the Fish project, we made a couple of quite obvious errors, such as almost crossing the line and not using a tripod, which was really important. But in our final piece, we learnt from these mistakes and we were really careful with everything that we did.
Even though I did media for GCSE, from this experience I've definitely learnt a lot more. And from our Feed the Fish, like Alex said, there was some obvious faults, but we've completely corrected all of those in our final product, and we've been more adventurous with our shots and decided to kind of take more risks. And we feel like this has been a very successful experience.
I also took GCSE media, but I never experienced filming before, and I feel that I've taken quite a lot from this experience, such as learning about editing, sound, dialogue, camera work, and just how to really manipulate all of those to make such a beautiful piece of work. And I feel that our piece of work is quite successful, and I learned quite a lot from just simply the preliminary task, and we went on to create a very good product.
Thank you for listening to our evaluation. We hope you enjoy our final product.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.